Hi everyone. In this feature update, we shall discuss on the changes Ginesys has done for Kerala Flood Cess and its implementation process. Before we proceed to the software working, let's understand the basics of Kerala Flood Cess. It is a calamity tax or cess aimed at raising additional resources for addressing reconstruction cost in Kerala. Now let's see its applicability. It is applicable only for local retail or B2C sale. It is not applicable for wills prepared for outside state or where B2B sale is happening from POS. That is, POS customers GST and shouldn't exist. As per the latest notification, at the time of this video getting recorded, it is going to get live from 1st August 2019. Below are the cess rates applicable for different GST rates. For GST 3%, 0.25% Kerala flood cess needs to be charged. For GST 5%, there is no cess applicable. For rates above 5%, 1% cess is applicable. Here is the sample calculation for Kerala flood cess. Considering the item of 3000 MRP, 12% GST and 1% Kerala flood cess are already included in the same price. So for deriving GST and Kerala flood cess, we need to consider that this 3000 rupees is 113% of the taxable value, and accordingly we derived the GST and Kerala flood cess for 12% and 1% respectively. Now let's see the requirements placed by the government for this implementation. Number 1 is to calculate in retail transactions as per the applicability defined earlier. Print the charged taxes or the Kerala flood cess in the document reports of such transactions. File returns for Kerala flood cess. For this you need a report. Make payment to government. For this you need to have liability generated in a ledger. Now let's see what we need to do in Ginesys for calculating the Kerala flood cess. The very first step is to define the masters for additional cess to be captured state-wise. Let's see the software working for this definition. Open Ginesys desktop, go to admin. In utilities you will find GST additional cess rate module. Open this up. Select the applicable GST rate. Let's say for 12% for Kerala, effective from 1st August 19, 1% Kerala cess rate is applicable. Accordingly, for GST 18% and Kerala state, starting from 1st August 19, 1% cess is applicable, and for 28%, again from August 1% cess is applicable, and I'll save the same. This is the definition process for additional cess, that is the Kerala flood cess. Now you need to sync the same to stores. So basically just proceed with the synchronization process and the same will be available at store end. Once sync is done, depending on the effective date and applicability, the system will automatically start calculating the same in the respective GST state. An important note: we are using existing compensation cess field for storing this additional cess. In the next couple of slides, we'll understand how this is impacting the flow. I have already prepared a POS bill with 5%, 12%, 18% and 28% GST rate items. As you can see, for GST 5%, no additional cess was charged, but for 12, 18 and 28%, 1% got charged automatically. Since this information is required to be shown in the document report, in case you don't have this cess rate field in the document report, you can add the same. Since we are capturing the additional cess in compensation cess field, report and ledger reflection will be done on the compensation cess fields only. For reports, you can check POS bill detail analytics report, and online or retail sale reports available in the web. For accounts posting, the ledger defined in GSTN Master's compensation cess field will get impacted as soon as settlement is posted. You should define the KFC ledger in the same. For defining the same, you can go to admin GSTN master, where you can select the respective GSTN and specify the compensation cess output ledger as Kerala Flood Cess ledger. This is a sample report where you can see the Kerala Flood Cess getting charged and populated in the cess rate and cess amount columns respectively. Now let's have a look in the return impact. Firstly, there is no impact in GST returns. Separate return needs to be filed in Kerala government website on monthly basis using the reports which we have mentioned earlier. To summarize the changes discussed, or we can consider it as rollout instructions as well. Number 1 is to define the additional cess master. Number 2 is to define the ledger for the Kerala Flood Cess in GSTN master. We need to use the compensation cess output ledger provision for the same. Change the Kerala Store's POS bill document report to show the cess field. You can term it as only cess or maybe Kerala Flood Cess as per your requirement. That's it, you are ready for billing. We hope this feature will benefit you in your daily operations. This feature update was brought to you by the business analyst team. In case you have any further query, please feel free to contact Ginesys Care. Thank you.